everyone, it's Shauna. And if you've been following along, you know that back in December I started seeds using the milk jug overwintering method for my butterfly garden project. I also shared an update video where I did the reveal of what seeds germinated and were a success and which ones were a flop. I'm still in the process of getting that 15 by 18 garden bed tilled up and ready for the planting. And the plants were starting to get a little overcrowded in the milk jugs. So I decided to go ahead and divide those up and repot them into pots that I already had that I'd been saving over the years whenever I buy plants from the garden center. And when I ran out of those, I just used some red solo cups from the pantry. My goal was simple: get an abundance of plants on a budget without breaking the bank. So here is the budget breakdown. A garden bed of this size, nearly 300 square feet, would easily cost $700 or more from a nursery. By growing these plants from seed and snagging a few deals, I've done the entire thing for under $150. If you don't need a garden bed quite that large, you can do it for a fraction of the cost, or start smaller and expand it over time. Just as a side note, these varieties I grew were so easy to grow from seed, it was well worth it. Now for the plant inventory and what will go into the butterfly garden, hopefully by early May. The winter sowers are New England Asters, Bachelor buttons, Gregg's Mistflower, Chenille Balm, Shasta Daisies, Foxglove, Black-Eyed Susan, Blazing Star, Hollyhocks, Dahlias, Big Bluestem Grass, Gaura, Tall Upright Verbena, and Creeping Thyme. I ended up with roughly 110 individual plants. I got anywhere from 2 to 10 plus starters from each of these varieties, as some did better than others. The indoor starts were dwarf sunspot sunflowers and geraniums, and the budget add-ons were 3 Lantana plugs that I got for $5 each and 3 Pink Muhly Grass for $7 each. Also, 54 Gladiolas that I found at 50% off at the Dollar General last winter. They were $4 a box for 18 bulbs per box. And then we have Zinnias from Dollar General that were $2, and then the Cosmos were 2 packets for $1, which will be direct sowed right into the garden bed. And check this out. These were my zinnias from last year with the seeds that I bought from Dollar General. So after you include the plants I grew from seed, 54 Gladiolas, the 3 Lantana plugs, the 3 Pink Muhly Grass, and all the flowers that I'll get from the Zinnias and Cosmos seeds, once I direct sow those into the ground, I will easily end up with around 200 plants. That averages about 75 cents a plant. Now that is a deal. So now time for a little troubleshooting. You might notice my geraniums are looking a little red, and I'm not sure if this is from some of the nights still getting too cool for them, or all the rain we've been having, or a nutrient deficiency, but I'm gonna let them dry out and add some water-soluble fertilizer and see what happens. So while most of these plants were super easy to grow, I've hit a wall with 2 of my favorites, which I feel like are kind of a staple for a cottage garden, yarrow and echinacea, which I love both of those. And I've tried a few different methods, but I just can't seem to get them to cooperate. I've tried the overwintering method, and I've tried starting them indoors on a heat mat under a grow light. And I've actually also bought yarrow plants in the past, a couple times actually, and they always die. They're supposed to be so easy and low maintenance, so I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Now I can grow echinacea if I buy a plant, but yarrow, still, even if I buy a plant, it dies. If you have any tips on starting these from seed or growing yarrow, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what worked for you. All right, so the best part about this garden isn't just the initial savings. These plants will drop seed, they're going to spread, they're going to grow large enough to be divided in a year or two. It's an investment that keeps on giving. I do want to let you know as well that I have an entire playlist created where I'm adding videos to weekly with other budget-friendly gardening content if you want to check out some of those. Be sure and subscribe so you can watch a space transform into a blooming habitat. And once it's fully established, I'm going to be registering it as a monarch way station. I've linked the start to finish and reveal videos in the description if you want to catch up on that process so far. All right, everyone, so that'll do it for today's video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.